So what is a CTA? It is a critical thinking analysis. And the cool thing about a CTA is that once you get the format down and the components, you can use this format to analyze a document, primary or secondary. You can analyze a conversation with your significant other. You can analyze debates on television, because this is all about the author, the speaker, is trying to convince you of something. So this is all about the author. This is not about you. You are not in the CTA at all. There should be no first person at all. This is all about the author. It's not about you. Okay, so with that in mind, the CTA is the one with the funny little cartoon about the entrance exam and the Critical Thinking 101 little cartoon that I put in there. So this is just simply a format for you. It's a series of guided steps or components, and the actual paper is not going to look like an essay. It is number one. The main purpose of this article is. Now, if you look at the instructions, which you should have them here as we're talking about them, there are what we call parenthetical questions. So these are all the questions that are in the parentheses. So you get a new word today, parenthetical, which makes you sound really smart, right? Okay, so those parenthetical questions are there for you to think about whatever component you are figuring out at the moment. So for the purpose is, why might the article have been written? So that's what you're thinking about. Why did Gary Nash write this article? Was the probable audience others in the field, the average reader, or students who have to read this stuff in history class? Needless to say, it's written for pretty much the average reader. I mean, this is really not, I mean, it's very doable. I wouldn't pick an article that was too difficult for you. And what is he trying to convince you of? What's the purpose of the article? 1 to 2 sentences. That's it. Short and sweet. The purpose of this article is to, you can use words like explain, shed light on, explore, discover, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's the main purpose. The second, the key question that the author is addressing is, and then this says it may look like the purpose, but it's really not. It's like, what's the key question? What is he trying to answer here? And this is all about the common people and the revolution. So put a question together using those two key little parts, common people, revolution. And this is about how the common people impacted the revolution. It's one question. You phrase it simply as one question. And you can start with something like, in what ways? Be careful, don't write a yes/no question, such as, did the American people impact the revolution? And the answer to that is yes. Okay, it's not a good question. You want something that is open-ended enough where you can answer it. In what ways did the American people impact the revolution? Might be something you could do. Okay, number 3, the most important evidence in this article is, this is the longest part of the CTA. This is everything from the beginning of the article all the way to the end. So every paragraph or two, maybe take 2 paragraphs at a time, you should have some evidence. This will probably run you about 2 pages double-spaced. Remember, you're writing complete sentences. Don't give me a bunch of phrases, because I don't know that you understand what you're saying if you just write a long phrase, or even I get little short phrases. Don't do that. Go ahead and write a full sentence, paraphrase in your own words. Each group that he talks about, remember there's like 4 groups that he talks about. I talked about them in the last video. You will be summarizing what he says all through the article. Okay, so this will be a couple pages, double spaced. Do not stop after the second page. I can always tell where students stop reading. So it's like the main evidence goes to page 3 of the article. You got to read the whole thing. Okay, you got to read the whole thing. Okay, so that's the main evidence. And the fourth part is the key concepts are, and there are, I say 5 to 7 key concepts. These are big ideas. These are timeless ideas like freedom. Doesn't matter if you're 1776 or 2016. Freedom, conflict, that kind of thing. I give you some examples here. These can be a single word, it can be a phrase. Violence. One of the things we look at in some classes is the cult of true womanhood. That's a phrase. So something like that. But these are ideas. These are big ideas. They're not a noun. The common people is not a, it's not a concept because it's not an idea. Timeless and intangible. You can't really touch a concept. I can't touch freedom. You know what it is. It's a big timeless idea. So 5 to 7 of those. Number 5, the main conclusions in this article are, and y'all, you're not going to have any more than 2 to 3 sentences. In fact, you can probably do this conclusion in one good sentence. So take your time. Your conclusion should answer your key question that's farther up in your CTA. If they don't answer, if it doesn't answer it, then you've missed something. And then the last one, number 6, the main point of view, there's only one author in this article is. Now, point of view is not you. Remember, you're not in the CTA. You're doing the CTA, but your reactions to the article are not part of a critical thinking analysis. The point of view is the author's frame of reference. So in this case, how does the author look at the people that he's writing about, the common people? Is he respectful of them? Is he horrified by them? Does he lack sympathy for them? Or does he think, well, they've got every right to do what they should, what they feel like they should do? So this is a sentence or two, okay? And then the only thing you're using for this CTA is the Gary Nash article. That's it. You're not using anything else. You can't get this in an essay site. This is you sitting down with Gary Nash and analyzing what this man has to say about the everyday people that began our country. Okay, so I think that will do that. And just a couple more things. There is a CTA instructions checklist that's on the file. This is a file on the table of contents. Before you submit your work, go through this, okay? If you printed it, which I hope you did, because I've asked you to, check off every single one of it. Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I paraphrase? Did I use no more than 2 quotations? Did I use quotation marks? Is it the right length? Did I run spelling grammar check? This is a way for you to protect yourself. So please use it. It's for your benefit. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you about is my example, which is on society and revivals in Rochester, New York in the early 19th century. And I've got the format here for you. It's very, very clear. There's examples here of what evidence looks like. And so other than that, you had chapter 3 quiz, and you are ready to go. Okay, so good luck. If you have questions, call me, email me, send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. And I will expect these on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. All right, thanks. Hope your week is going well. Bye.